one of the biggest dangers to the family, to the ranch, and that's true of all of the ranchos in California, and certainly in this area, were the grizzly bear. Grizzly bear were these huge, huge, huge creatures that were 10 feet tall. Therefore, they had high fences around the place. These bears were a menace to the cattle, as you can imagine. They ate the cattle. They would even come into the property. Originally, when the bears lived in this land, it was said that you could see 6 to 8 grizzly bear in the trees, in the oak trees, gathering their food. And they said for years afterwards, I don't know, maybe they still exist, there were great big scratches and gouges and limbs torn off by these animals. They were so feared by the Spanish that they had this horrible practice of doing bull and bear fights. They would often have these bullfights in their fandangos. They were very cruel events. They would put the bear in a pit, tie the bear to the ground in the pit, and then they would fight bull after bull after bull. Sometimes they'd go to 2 or 3 bulls, kill 2 or 3 bulls before a bull was able to kill them. So this gruesome sport came out of the fear of these big, beautiful creatures. Just to give you an idea of how big these grizzlies are, this is a picture of the grizzly bear's paw print. And as you can see, it's bigger than this woman's whole chest. This is a sleeping bear. It's not a dead bear. There are grizzlies in the United States. They are no longer in California. They drove the grizzly to extinction. When the gold rush happened, the Americans took on this wonderful sport of the grizzly bear and the bull fight, and they took it as their own events in California. They would have these big parties and have these bullfights themselves. And an interesting tie-in about the Americans and the grizzly bear in this sport was that you have heard about the bull and bear market. The bull and bear market concept came from this practice of fighting bulls and bears. Grizzly bear also showed up on the bear flag that we know as now the California flag. When that bear flag was created, and it was literally whipped out, this piece of white fabric with a crude drawing of a bear with the star, the Lone Star from Texas, by the way, is where that star came from. The bear came from sort of a snub toward the Spanish, sort of putting the bear who they feared in their face as some kind of a taunt. And that's why there is a grizzly bear on the bear flag.